राइट एट द आउटसेट प्लीज 4-time MP आप नेता के साथ और कुछ कीजिए, उनका पार्लियामेंट सीट मत ले लो भाई उनके साथ. 4-time MP, राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज. सुप्रिया सुले, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर बीइंग इन आवर मिड्स. प्लीज मैम. सुप्रिया जी, सबसे पहले तो वी आर एट अ पॉइंट नाउ which many people are saying is an inflection point. You know, we are talking to the youth of our country, the youth of Mumbai. और बहुत से लोग कह रहे हैं कि भाई हमारे देश के अंदर पूरा जो सिस्टम है वही अब डामाडोल हो चुका है, वोट चोरी हो रही है, इलेक्शन चोरी हो रहे हैं, हमारे देश में जो व्यवस्थाएं हैं उनके ऊपर एक सवाल है. माय क्वेश्चन इज, today as a 4-time MP, what would you tell the youth, the yuva of our country? Should they trust the democratic process or it's over? Democracy is over, the election process is over. What would you say? Because the same process has chosen you 4 times.
Yes, well, good afternoon, everybody. And I'm feeling very young and cool being with all of you here. I'm trying to be as cool as I can.
You are young and cool.
Godrej ki jawani, so I can't lie so much. But, and I don't lie anyway. But मैं एक बात आपको ज़रूर कहूँगी, इस देश में ऊपर नीचे कभी कभी हो जाता है, हर देश में होता है, लेकिन इस देश के सिस्टम पे और लोगों पे मुझे पूरा विश्वास है. तो एक सशक्त लोकतंत्र में इलेक्शन अच्छे से ही होना चाहिए, और अगर किसी ने कुछ सवाल किए तो उसको पारदर्शिता से जवाब देना चाहिए. और मेरा विश्वास है कि इलेक्शन कमीशन सही जवाब देगी. और कॉपी करके किसको पास करना है, मेरिट में और पढ़ाई करके पास होने में जो मज़ा है वो कॉपी करने में नहीं है. एंड आई एम श्योर द जनरेशन थिंक्स एंड अग्रीज विद मी.
Absolutely, transparency is a must in democracy. But fundamentally, do you think the election process is rigged, that vote chori is happening?
Well, look, there are challenges and data speaks louder than words. This is a generation which wants evidence and they believe in data. Like Mr. Mukesh Ambani always says, data is the new oil. So I guess if there is data coming, let's have a debate on it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but why shouldn't we debate something? And just because you debate it, that doesn't mean you're challenging somebody. If it's a democracy, you must debate. It's the way you ask a question. You don't have to be arrogant and rude. You can be still polite and still get the same outcome. So I see no reason why we can't have a debate on data.
But the same data also gave the Congress party 99 seats. It gave you results of the kind that nobody had expected. None of the polls had predicted. In Maharashtra, that same data led your alliance, the opposition, INDIA, to say that the Modi government was in the next election going to be thrown out. How can that data be questioned then?
No, my point is start with me. I have said कि अगर आपको वोट चोरी की इंक्वायरी करनी है तो मेरे सीट से ही शुरू करिए. Why should I point fingers at other people? And please remember, when you point one finger at others, there are 3 fingers which are pointing to you directly, always. So start with yourself. So if you want to check the vote chori story, let's correlate it with my Lok Sabha and the new Vidhan Sabha and correlate the story. So start with yourself first. So I would like to start with myself first. And let's see where it is goes.
In your seat, do you think vote chori has happened?
Well, I won by 1,58,000, and in my constituency, I'm not saying there's vote chori. I'm saying data driven. I'm not saying hai nahi hai. Look, unless I can prove it completely, it's not fair to make an allegation to anybody for that matter. So my point is that the votes went up by 1,63,000. Maybe it's a coincidence that I won by 158, and the votes that have gone up in Vidhan Sabha is 1,63,000. So the difference is only a 5,000, but it is huge. It's not even a jump, it's a leap. So no harm in finding out. And the challenge is now anybody can just punch in and register their vote. There's very little homework being done or being challenged as how it has been done. The paperwork is very, very weak, and some names have come 6 and 7 times. Well, the constitution gives you 1 vote, me 1 vote, Alia Bhatt also 1 vote. So we are all equal, right? So I think we should all be fair, and our name only should be registered once. So we need to clean up the system if it has gaps.
But if that was indeed the case, Baramati was a prestige contest. At that time, I mean, both sides pulled out all stops. And yet you won. Not only did you win by a handsome margin, like you said, of close to 1.6 lakh votes, you were leading in all the assembly segments. How would that have been possible? In such a prestige contest, they would have made you lose by rigging the contest.
Should I tell you, for me, winning an election is not prestige. For me, my job is service. So I don't get into this jingoism that you see on TV, itne se aage badh rahe and all that. That is little very dramatic for my personality, first of all. Because an election is not, how do I tell you, it's a service, it's a job that you, I mean, I got into it because I thought I wanted to serve the people of this nation. So there's no glamour or there's no prestige in it. In a job which is service, you have to be honest and just dedicate your time to serving to make your lives better. What is policy? Policy is to make your lives better. That's why we make policy. That's what being an MP is all about. It's not just going into the building, it's about what you do inside the building.
Correct. But the same election commission conducted the elections which you won and won handsomely.
Yeah, but
so
I'm
where
not-
was the rigging there?
But nobody is challenging any individuals. We are challenging a marking system. A lot of times you go to the board exams and you ask for rechecking, right? You feel you've got more marks and you haven't got enough marks. So if you can ask for rechecking, so can we. And nothing wrong in asking for rechecking, right?
Okay.
And that doesn't mean that we're all in the right or wrong. Let's have a debate. And in a democracy, what's wrong in asking questions? Didn't all your parents and your teacher always tell you, ki don't be ashamed of asking questions? It doesn't matter. Somebody may laugh at you. So what? It's better than being unpad. पूछने से तो कुछ समझ में ही तो आएगा ना. What is wrong in asking questions?
But
Nothing
in
wrong.
principle,
but
अगर-
politely, हाँ, little polite.
पर इन प्रिंसिपल अगर महाराष्ट्र के युवा आपसे पूछे कि सुप्रिया जी अगर इतना खराबी है तो वोट डाले कि ना डाले, ये
नहीं,
चल रहा है ना सिस्टम तो
ऐसा
ठीक है
कोई खराब नहीं कह रहा है. Not at all. Please don't think it's kharab. Not at all. All we are saying कि there are question marks. So the election commission may tell it's like a board exam. कोई नहीं कह रहा है कि CBSE खराब है, SSC खराब है, IB खराब है या ICSE खराब है. वो नहीं कह रहा है. हम सिर्फ कह रहे हैं रीचेकिंग करवाइए. That doesn't mean the system is bad. You go to your teacher, no, in college. Madam, you've cut my half mark. My admission will not go through. Please, मुझे आधा मार्क दे दीजिए, मेरी लाइफ बन जाएगी. So what's wrong? And if you can do it, so can we.
But
We are
ma'am,
only asking for transparency and accountability. That's all we are asking for. There's nothing wrong in that.
ma'am, that is a reasonable stand to have. But I'll be very honest with you. When we see the discourse right now, the allegation being made is not just कि कुछ गड़बड़ियां हैं. गड़बड़ियां हर सिस्टम में हो सकती है. गड़बड़ियों को सुधारना भी चाहिए.
सुधारना
आज जो डिस्कोर्स है, इलेक्शन कमीशन चोर है, इलेक्शन कमीशन रिग कर रहा है, ये मिला हुआ है, पूरा हाईजैक, डेमोक्रेसी हैज बीन हाईजैक्ड. I will ask you simply, has democracy and the electoral process been hijacked by the BJP according to you?
You know, I would not like to take a party's name for the reason that I don't think even Rahul ji has said that this party has done it. We are asking, we are not saying ICSE has been controlled by somebody. We are saying there's a problem in the ICSE system or CBSE or IB or whatever. So all we are saying is that if there are challenging by data driven raised by people, the election commission should just reply. What's wrong with that?
Okay.
I think we are all on a self-improvement journey, right? There was a time when somebody criticized me, I would go home and feel so bad and think, why is that person criticizing me? Now I feel, please criticize me. Do you know why? Because that gives me a sense to improve myself. So then if I made a mistake in my last interview and somebody criticized me, I'm so happy. Because then I don't repeat the same mistake again. And so your parents are your biggest critics. Why does your mother tell you, तुमने ये क्यों किया? Because she loves you the most. That's why she or your father is your best critic. So value it. I take criticism the best because I value it. Ki that person is my well-wisher. And it keeps you relevant also because if he's going on and on and on every day about you, that means you matter, right? Otherwise, why would you criticize? Think about it. So take it as a compliment.
You know,
And be on a self-improvement journey.
the demographics of our country and of our voters are getting younger and younger. is there a nervousness ever ki, am I able to connect with my voter anymore? What are any significant thoughtful steps that you have taken to ensure that you are reaching out to the youngest person who is looking up to you?
No, you know, we are public representatives. Everybody is my stakeholder. That 18-year-old is my stakeholder, and so is the 95-year-old my stakeholder. So I'm never intimidated that, oh my God, what will I do with the... Not at all. It's my job. It's my job. It's like Apple making a phone. From 18 to 95, they are catering to everybody. और उसके छोटे भी बच्चे हो, parents want to give them an iPhone is their problem, not mine. But more or less, it's everybody is catering to that, right? Netflix is catering to that. Amazon is catering to that. Godrej is. Who is not catering to that whole spectrum anymore? Everybody who's in public life, in marketing, in cinema, or making TV serials, everybody, NDTV is catering to everybody. So I don't think there's such a big song and dance about, oh my God, Gen Z, Gen Z. There was always a Gen Z.
There was always a Gen Z, but now Gen Z is more demanding. Gen Z is very connected, they are very aware. And the context for this is what happened in Nepal was it was put down to the fact that that generation felt unheard. They felt that their concerns were not being addressed. Their politicians were completely divorced with what almost 30% of their population is thinking. Do you think that is possible in India as well? That there could be a disconnect so wide that we fail to understand it, to gauge it, and this discontent spills onto the streets?
No, discontent only doesn't come with just one policy. Discontent comes through the economy. Please don't mix oranges and peaches. It's when there is a social issue and there is a financial issue. Discontent can come in any part of society. It doesn't only have to come from the Gen Z. When a system fails everybody, maybe they are a little more younger, more idealistic, so they're maybe not as patient. I won't say impatient. Because I think all of us should be impatient for growth by the right values, not by the wrong values. So I think there's nothing wrong. What happened in Nepal probably is something that happened across a generation. It's not just one thing went wrong in what happened in Bangladesh, what happened in Nepal, or the instability in Pakistan. So I think very differently than you. I think anywhere where the economy does well, and it's a fair and a transparent system, I'm sure the Gen Z also wants to be a part of the growth story of the country that they come from or they belong.
You know, and all of this was happening in our neighborhood, and yet we've had a period of relative calm. What is India doing right to ensure that the instability that we see at our borders, whether it be in Bangladesh and Nepal, earlier in Sri Lanka, to some extent even in America, they had several different, pockets of unrest. What has India got right that we have seen more stability than the rest of the world?
I think it's a journey of 80 years and a contributions of millions and millions of people. I mean, these children are not even born at that time when India really went through a whole time. I mean, I did not see the partition of India. But clearly, we were closer because our grandmothers told us that story. So we felt a little close. This generation has no reason to relate to that. But I think what kept India is an effort of many, many, because governance is continuity. Please remember, governance doesn't happen overnight. It's continuity. So it is generations and decades of hard work by many, 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 many people that has built institutions in India. IIT did not come overnight. Xavier's College was not built overnight. Nor was Sydenham, nor was KC, I'm not sure, nor was Bhavan's College, nor was Siddharth College, nor was Mitibai College. These are all colleges built over the last 5, 6, 7 decades. Schools were built in this country. We take all this so much for granted. That, oh, मैं तो स्कूल चला गया, फिर मैं कॉलेज में बोर हो रहा था यार, कैंटीन अच्छा नहीं था यार, वहाँ से बस का बड़ा लव. Please understand, none of us, all of you sitting here, nobody is studying in the dark, nor did I. I went by a proper BST bus to school, there were proper trains, there were airports, there were highways, there was everything. Maybe the scale has become a lot more, but all this existed. So it's a growth story of India of last 75 years. and a contribution of millions and millions of people's hard work who has brought us to where we are.
So in today's, and you're right, a lot of these things we just take for granted, infrastructure, we have airports, electricity 24 hours. What is the number one issue that matters to the youth of India right now? And should there be reservation?
Well, there are two things clearly that the youth of India need is good quality access to affordable education and jobs or opportunities on merit for which the economy has to do well. So it's very, very important to make sure there's good quality accessible education which is connected to opportunity, equal opportunity for all. And you asked me specific about reservation. Reservation has to be for people who really need it, like me. I cannot ask for reservation because my parents are educated, I'm educated, my children are educated. Shame on me even if I apply for it. It's for somebody who probably back of beyond parents did not have education and they needed that. So if my child is studying in India, in Mumbai, going to one of the good schools, has great opportunity in Mumbai, and there could be a child maybe brighter than my child in Chandrapur who may not have access to that. So maybe that child, actually it's not maybe, the child deserves that opportunity because that child doesn't have that same exposure that my child has in Mumbai.
So do you think it should be more economic?
Well, there is a lot
than
of
caste based?
No, it has to be a combination because a lot of times these studies are done by the government. Government does studies on reservation, and then it's very data driven. It's a very scientific process that is followed by government.
The reason I ask this is because we've just gotten out of an entire phase where there were, Maratha reservation stir had happened. Now a GR of the government has come on that. Now the other side is saying that OBCs are being discriminated against. When are we finally going to put an end to this cycle of caste-based reservations and this continuous tussle between castes and communities?
Well, I have requested the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra several times that these are very sensitive issues. Please call an all-party meeting. Let's all have a discussion. Let's ask every stakeholder of this country what he or she think about it, and let's have an open debate on it. But I'm sure he's very busy with many other things. I guess he's a busy man. But I think what we really need to do is we need to have a debate in colleges, in society, at every platform, and let's all debate it. I would even like to take a quick poll here to find out what they are thinking. About everything that matters in this country, because their opinion matters, and governments are here to serve you, not just to give speeches. The way outgoing is free, incoming also has to be open and free for any government, and even for every public servant like me. I'm here in public life to serve you. I make policies hearing from you, not just for my brain. It has to be my brain plus all the inputs that you have given me, make a combination and implement.
Okay, let's do a straw poll. People here, do you think that there should be reservations? Raise your hands.
See?
Okay, how many people think that the system of reservation needs to be overhauled?
See? So what I'm suggesting is what they are saying. I'm
Interesting.
asking.
So there seems to be a majority of people who want an overhaul. Do you think there should be economic background-based reservation?
See?
Or you think that caste-based reservation as it exists is okay? Interesting, ma'am. Here's possibly a private member's bill next time.
I told you. Thank God I feel so connected to the Gen Z.
So you're saying that economic status-based reservation is something that we should look at.
I'm going to sleep half an hour more tonight because I feel so connected with my every stakeholder.
So Supriya Sule, a private member's bill on economic status-driven reservation?
It already exists in this country. Even in the country and even in Maharashtra, people with economically weaker backgrounds do have an opportunity. So it has to be a combination, and that's the beauty of a vibrant democracy. Bolo kam, suno zada. What is a good leader? Who speaks less and listens to more. So I think that's and that leader doesn't mean it's only somebody who's in politics. There's a leader in this room, there's a leader on the table, there's a leader in your home, there's a leader in your group, there is a leader anywhere you go, be it in politics, be it in a company, be it in your home, be it in your friend circle. There is a leader. Leader doesn't mean कि सिर्फ नेता है. You need a leader for society, you need a leader in the family. You know, your father's the leader in the company, but when he comes home, mother's the leader. Because somebody holds that family together. So please value it, value that leadership.
Final word, Supriya Sule, as you know, a member of parliament, a lady who's running a house also, is also going to work, you also have NGOs. आपने पूरा देखा है देश में इस वक्त जो क्या सिचुएशन है, देश का युवा, देश का जेनजी इस वक्त किस पार्टी के साथ?
Well, I don't know which party they are with. I would clearly want them to be with me. Obviously.
If not with your party, तो किसके साथ आपको ज़्यादा दिखाई दे रहा है?
It's very hard to tell because अभी election होके 1 साल हुआ है, and this Gen Z is very with it with the news. They're very on top of things very fast. It's like, that's why I got my phone here, because I know you would leave your home without the keys of your house, but you're not leaving your phone behind. It always sort of makes you insecure. Hey, phone reh gaya, phone reh gaya, phone reh gaya. But because this phone is not only about chatting, it's an information ka bhandar. I don't know how much of Chat GPT you use. Do you all use Chat GPT? Well, sometimes Chat GPT once has made a mistake on Sky TV. So always trust what you're Googling, but at the same time, please be well read and well informed even for yourself, and trust your own instinct and judgment at the same time. But I just feel it's a very well informed and a very aware society. It doesn't mean that they only follow politics, but they're very sensitive and empathetic to information because it's so easily available to them. Look at Instagram for that matter. It's like a rage. I don't know how many reels you watch every day. I watch, but my reel now has a lock. After a few minutes, it gets automatically locked. Otherwise, it's too much of a distraction for me.
What's your reel quota for the day?
I'm not telling you, because then I have to argue it at home.
You don't watch any reels anymore?
Of course, I watch reels every day.
So how much is your lock?
I ain't telling you because my children will challenge me when I get home. I will tell you off record.
What kind
not
of
on
reels
record.
do you watch? Do you watch like dog reels, funny reels?
No, whatever.
Motivational reels?
No. Some motivational.
Political reels?
I like to watch all kinds of reels. I wanted to say who went to see Aryan Khan's function at Jio. I wanted to know what Alia Bhatt was wearing, how beautiful she was looking. I followed that. Then I followed Shabana Azmi's birthday also.
Yeah.
So I say, oh, kaun gaya, kaun nahi tha. Then I follow things what happened. There are little kids who give sort of funny things on television which make you laugh. I follow everything. Yeah, I'm interested in everything. I'm interested in fashion, I'm interested in the farmer, I'm interested in what new things women are doing. I'm interested in everything in the world.
Okay, final question I have to ask you. Politician में सबसे ज़्यादा किसके reels आप देखते हो?
In politicians, किसके ज़्यादा सबसे देखती हूँ मैं? It's a very good question actually. Hard to tell. I follow all the politicians.
अच्छा reel game किसका है?
Very hard to tell. Everybody is quite smart. I just saw Shivraj Singh Ji's the other day. This Gen Z will not like it, but it's a little heavy it is, because I saw him going in the Bard and checking out all that, which the Gen Z will not find cool. So, but that is my work related.
So you like Shivraj Singh Chauhan when he
No,
went
I
to
just
Punjab?
watching when he went to Punjab. I saw that. That was, and I love Rahul Ji's Padayatra reels. I really feel that the guy is really trying to do something, and his that new anger look, I find it very cool, because for me it comes very honestly, because I'll say that very bravely, that you may like Rahul Gandhi, you may not like Rahul Gandhi, that doesn't matter, but nobody can challenge the integrity of that man. That's what I like about him. कि कुछ भी हो, आदमी ईमानदार है, and his whole body language when he talks is wow. So that's quite cool.
Okay.
I find it very cool.
So on the hustings, Gen Z is going to decide who they really like, but real game, Rahul Gandhi has got down pat, according to Supriya Sule.
Absolutely. It's not only in the reels, the way he's impacting. Reel is not just about making a statement, it impacts you. It's like, wow. So when I saw Alia Bhatt in that white dress, it was like, wow. And when I saw Rahul Gandhi, talking about vote chori, I'm like, wow. So there's a difference in that two vows.
Well, Alia Bhatt wouldn't know that she has something in common with Rahul Gandhi. Both of them make Supriya Sule go wow. Thank you very
Thank you.
much,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Sule, for having joined us. Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.